This is today's AEW Dynamite show results video. Chris Jericho makes his entrance for his face-to-face with Daniel Garcia and gets on the mic. Daniel Garcia came, and Daniel says Chris knew how special that moment was to him, how special it was to share a ring with his hero, Bryan Danielson. Garcia said that match is the kind of match he always dreamed of having sitting at home with his mom in Buffalo, and he got to have it last week, and he only hopes some kid was watching at home and he wants them to feel the same way he felt. Chris looks conflicted and says he's sorry he feels that way, but there'll be plenty more moments like that because he's the greatest technical sports entertainer in the world today, and deep down inside he knows he's a sports entertainer, and he wants to hear him say it. Then came American Dragon Bryan Danielson, and he said he sees that Daniel's mentor here is trying to bully him into saying that he's a sports entertainer, and listen, you can be whatever you want. He respects their wrestling from last week and he agrees with all the people that Garcia is a wrestler. Bryan says he's not the biggest fan of sports entertainment, but that was pretty entertaining. Chris tells him that it pisses him off when people say that Danielson is the best wrestler in the world today. He's been around him for 15 years and hasn't seen it once. Danielson challenges him to a match, American Dragon vs Lionheart, right now, but Jericho accepts for All Out, and then Jake Hager blindsides him with a Northern Lariat and follows with the high-angle twisting spinebuster. Then we saw a match between Dax Harwood vs Jay Lethal, and the result of this match was Jay Lethal won the match by pinfall with an O'Connor roll and a handful of trunks. Post-match, Sonny Dutt gets on the mic and says he's got a message for Dax and his big dumb buddies, and he never said who was in their trios match at All Out. It'll be Jay Lethal teaming with two close personal friends of theirs, and it would be Motor City Machine Guns. Back from the commercial, Thunder Rosa is interviewed by Tony Schiavone, and she was crying because she announced that she's hurt and has to step down as AEW Women's World Champion, and she hopes Toni Storm wins the interim title and promises she'll come back bigger and stronger with a chip on her shoulder. Then we saw a match between Billy Gunn vs Colton Gunn, and the result of this match was Colton Gunn won the match by pinfall with the Colt .45. Post-match, Stokely Hathaway gives the Ass Boys his card and they put boots to their dad and then fend the Acclaimed off when they try to save him. Swerve and Our Glory make the save and run the Ass Boys off, and Keith Lee helps Billy Gunn up. Tony Schiavone is backstage with Death Triangle and the United Empire. Will Ospreay says the last time he met Pac it was a 30-minute draw, and he's glad he's got his mates with him because it means more gold for the United Empire. Pac says they're not gonna kill them tonight, they're gonna murder them because AEW is Death Triangle territory and they'll find out the hard way. Then we saw a match between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD vs Keelan King, and the result of this match was Britt Baker. DMD won the match by submission with lockjaw. Post-match, Baker gets on the mic and says it's a shame about Thunder Rosa, but when she was a champ, she worked her entire reign with a broken friggin' wrist because that's what champions do. Then Toni Storm came, and she was marching to the ring, but Jamie Hayter blindsides her and beats her down as Rebel marched into the ring holding up a towel for Baker to drap herself in. Then came Hikaru Shida to save Toni Storm. Then at backstage, Tony Schiavone is with Swerve and Our Glory and the Acclaimed. The champs say they don't mind saving the Acclaimed because they love them, and they're a ranked team and they've been ranked, and they'd be worthy opponents for the tag titles at All Out. Max Caster says they don't need the praise or help, and Anthony Bowens says they're taking the tag titles at All Out. Then we saw a match between CM Punk vs Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship Unification match, and during the match, CM Punk got injured, and the result of this match was Jon Moxley defeated CM Punk by pinfall with Paradigm Shift, unifying the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley is your new AEW World Champion. Moxley celebrates with both title belts while referees, a medic, and his trainer Ace Steel check on Punk. Tony Schiavone interviews Christian Cage. Backstage with his arm in a brace, Cage says he extended an olive branch to Jungle Boy last week and gave him one last opportunity to apologize for the hateful, personal things that he said, and he knows he said some things too, but he wasn't coming from a place of malice, that was tough love. Cage said it all out, Jungle Boy will find out Christian is not average, he's an anomaly, he's special, and it all out, Jungle Boy won't be able to match up to Cage at less than 100%. Absolute Ricky Starks makes his entrance and gets on the mic, and he said he's mad and he's got a lot of stuff to deal with, and he thought he had a real friend in Will Hobbs. He checked on him every week when he broke his neck, but the thing about people wanting to see you do good is they never want to see you do better than them. Ricky said he considered Hobbs a friend, but now he calls him a low-down dirty slimeball scheming snake, and where he's from, you cut the heads off of snakes. Then Ricky addressed Hobbs, bring your $5 ass to Chicago and fight him at All Out. Back from the commercial, Jon Moxley cuts a promo calling out the people who always write him off, and says those people don't matter and they never did. The truth is the answer to any problem you might have in pro wrestling is always Jon Moxley, and nobody can do what he does as he does. He is professional wrestling and he is the guy in this industry. There are no limitations on what he does, and everybody asks when their time will come, and his time is right now. In the main event, we saw the AEW World Trios Championship Tournament first round match between Death Triangle, Pac, Penta L0M, and Rey Fenix versus United Empire, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Dunkzilla Davis, and Will Ospreay, and the result of this match was United Empire defeated Death Triangle by pinfall, and now they will face the Elite in the semifinals. Post-match, Kenny Omega and Young Bucks appear, and Kenny Omega and Young Bucks were marching to the ring, but Don Callis stopped them, and the show went off the air.